What up, my dude? Yo. Yeah, what up, my dude?
It's the NFL on EA Sports as we are in the inner harbor of Baltimore at M&T Bank Stadium. The two teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this Baltimore crowd. They're all set.
Every time I freaking look at the freaking Houston Texans, I think of JJ.
Justin Tucker set to boom this
Hopkins.
one away. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Shows off the quick feet as he takes this one up to the 20. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Well, Charles, it feels like Lamar Miller's been around the NFL forever, but he's still just going to turn 28 in April. Well, this past year, though, 973 rushing yards, good for 12th in the league.
And you know that he's capable.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen.
And he goes down, it's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall, and they can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
Okay, look at this. The punt team nowhere to be found. They're on the sidelines. Offense going to go for this on the opening drive. They are going for it. Here's Watson. And this is going to be incomplete. A surprising move to go for it, and predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And goodness, that means this next drive is going to begin 1st and goal already at the 5-yard line. First red zone chance now for the Ravens. They've got it 1st and goal at the 6. From the gun, Jackson out to his left. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Lamar Jackson, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Ravens have taken the early lead. John Harbaugh thought about it, and now his guys are going to go for the 2-point conversion. From the gun, it's Jackson. Buying time to his left. And he will get in to make it 8-0. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. Well, off topic, but we'd be remiss if we didn't point out what else was happening Super Bowl weekend. The Madden 19 Club Championship, 2nd major this season, 2 more to follow. And our winner, Pauvin, representing the Oakland Raiders. He took down the Vikings, and your favorite, Charles, Strafin. He had to reach for the ibuprofen after a 38-24 beatdown in the final.
Well, you know, if he was representing the Oakland Raiders, the Vikings went down, and they went down hard. That's how the Raiders do it.
How about Pauvin, though, wins $100,000 for his efforts, also won Super Bowl tickets for the next day, unselfishly gave them to his father and his brother.
How about that? That's pretty cool. Congratulations, Pauvin. Way to go.
Watson on 3rd down. Throw left side, complete to QT. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
He sets to fire deep. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Watson now to throw. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Eric Weddle. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 34. After the interception, here's Jackson. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Forced out to his left. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
Well, that was man coverage. So once he decides to run with the football, there's no one to account for him, and he turns it into a nice gain.
Jackson on first down. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
On 2nd down, here's Jackson. Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Not too many teams will use a first-round pick on a tight end, so you know that when one does, he's got to be pretty darn special.
A small example of why they took him in the first round there. A nice little catch and run to get the good yardage. Throwing now, Jackson on first down, being chased out left. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. On 3rd and short, they'll try option left. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. The keeper nets him only a yard, and that's going to bring up 4th.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one because when you run him on short gains, the risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for. Some
collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Alex Collins punching it in from a yard away. And the Ravens will add on to their lead.
Well, Brandon, he just followed his nose, and his nose took him to the end zone. But how about the big guys up front, giving him at least a stalemate in order to find that space?
Yeah, the O-line won the battle in the trenches there, didn't it? And he'll get into the end zone as the 2-point conversion is successful. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Before this next drive gets going, we need to discuss the Hall of Fame inductees. There will be 8 in the 2019 class. We got Champ Bailey, Tony Gonzalez, Ty Law. Who else am I forgetting in there?
Well, how about a big guy, a lineman, Kevin Mawai, who was absolutely terrific in his career. How about Ed Reed with the Baltimore Ravens and the great job he did in the secondary there. Pat Bowlen, Gil Brandt as contributors, the owner of the Broncos and the longtime scout with the Cowboys. And I love the senior committee bringing in Johnny Robinson, the safety with Kansas City.
Tony Gonzalez was a first ballot guy. And, of course, when I hear Ty Law's name, you think, wow, he started this great Patriots dynasty that we're still living in.
You're exactly right. And the Patriots, with all of their championships, probably underrepresented in the Hall of Fame.
Lamar Miller. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. A first down carry now for Miller. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
Play action for Miller. Now Watson. On the crossing route, he hits Demaryius Thomas. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. He got 29 yards that time. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They go play action here on first down. Rolling to his right. Space to run past the 20. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. And he'll finally be taken down at the 18. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Now a play fake here on first down. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Baltimore after this. To throw on second is Watson. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Demaryius Thomas from 21 yards away. And the Texans cut into that lead. Now Watson, he's going to lead the Texans up to go for 2. Here's Watson. And this is going to be caught, so they do get it. And the 2 points, now they're back down to a 1-score deficit. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. While we have a second here, let's peek back to the Super Bowl. The lowest scoring Super Bowl, Charles, in history, 13-3. And it took us 53 minutes to get our first touchdown of Super Bowl 53.
Can you believe they went into the half 3-0 New England? Stephen Gostkowski with a field goal. Then they finally tie it up with Greg Zuerlein at the end of 3 quarters of the Rams knocking one through the post. The Patriots, the 3rd team to win the year after losing the Super Bowl, the first since the Dolphins in 1972.
And, of course, the big number now for New England, 6 titles, and they are tied with the Steelers for the most ever.
All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
Yeah, not much there that time, and I think we were both wondering once he got out of the box whether he'd just throw the ball away, and he winds up only picking up a yard or 2.
On 3rd down, Jackson steps away to his left. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A pickup of 24 on the third down conversion. Jackson from the shotgun. Dancing to his left. Now he'll let it go deep left sideline. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position you have to be, you just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball. It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Again, Jackson flushed out right. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. On is the punter, Cook, who sends it away. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line. Well, the Houston Texans, as they come onto the field, obviously their offseason hit a little earlier than they wanted in January, making it to the playoffs, losing to Indianapolis. That was the first time that 2 AFC South teams had actually met in the playoffs when they squared off with the Colts.
And think about how the two of them began the year. Houston began 0-3. The Colts began 1-5. Yet they both finished so hot. The Colts down the stretch, 9-1 in their last 10. Houston 8-2, and end up meeting in the playoffs. And both of them ended up winning on the other team's home field. The Colts did it twice. Houston did it once.
As you said several times, hard for Houston to be completely disappointed with the ending. They have a lot to build on for next year. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. The Texans on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Watson. And he will have a man, Demaryius Thomas. Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop him with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Watson on 1st down. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. The 40, the 30, past the 20. Touchdown, Houston. Demaryius Thomas, as the first half is winding down. And now the Texans are within a 2-point conversion of tying up this game. Bill O'Brien with a call here. We'll go for 2. Again, it's Watson. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. Well, split the difference, and they're right where they would have been with 2 PATs. They got the 2-point conversion the first time. They failed there.
Interesting, isn't it? Because the first time you go after your first score, that feels like a gamble. The second time when they tried it again, that felt like, what the heck, right? Because, as you said, even if you miss it, you split the difference, and you're right on schedule at 14 points.
They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. They'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave them with 2nd and a yard. Now Jackson on 2nd down, eluding the pressure right. He's going deep for Brown. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. The Ravens on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And he'll be down deep into Houston territory. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Play action. Now Jackson escaping the pressure right. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
Now Jackson on first down. Flush to his right. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
Looked at me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield, and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
And now on third down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. Now Jackson, buying time to his left. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
And there was absolutely zero pressure on the quarterback on that play. Third down, and he has all the time in the world to eventually find an open receiver for a first down pickup.
Jackson flushed out right. Wide open receiver complete. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Michael Crabtree, 29 yards. And the Ravens will extend their lead. Jackson will throw again. Forced out to his left. And he finds his way into the end zone as the lead moves to 10. So they try to make it a two-score game with a conversion. It pays off.
And they've looked at the situation, figured it out well. A two-score game in this situation, they've got to feel much better about where they are.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this third quarter. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Now a first down throw. Watson being chased, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now Watson. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off by Tony Jefferson.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
After the interception, here's Jackson, eluding the pressure right. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Partner, it's often the man coverage is easier for a quarterback to run against. You get your receivers going downfield. Those guys are staying with them, and oftentimes they have their back to the quarterback, which opens up a lot of space and room, and they don't even know that he's taken off with it. What a big-time pickup on that play.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down. They'll go option to the short side. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Excellent job on the keeper. 20 yards and a first down.
And if you're keeping an eye on the box score, that last run puts him over the 100-yard mark for the game. And this defense has just had all...
And they're going to get to him, a sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line. Bernardrick McKinney able to get in there and drop him behind the line. On second down, here's Jackson. Diving for the end zone, and the ball's knocked out, and the Texans scoop it. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. So the turnover forced, and a wonderful job on a big return.
And how about the convoy that got created to help him get all the way back upfield? I mean, that's the part that people miss on. That's practice. That's worked on. It doesn't just happen in a game and everyone rallies. They discussed it prior to, and everyone knows their role when they create a turnover like that.
The tackle made by the corner, Jimmy Smith. Again, it's Miller. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe you change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
That was a good effort there, trying to do it on his own, but as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you. And if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
Now it's Miller, and he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front?
And now Miller hit, and he fumbles. And the Ravens have got it.
Pardon me, you know how often we hear about the red zone, right? From the 20-yard line going in, that's scoring zone, getting points on the board. A lot of teams call from the 10-yard line in the green zone. That's your money zone. He fumbles the ball inside the money zone. You have one job, take care of the ball. That didn't happen.
And he fires one that's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And they'll be inside the red zone with the ball at the 16-yard line. After the interception, here's Watson setting up the screen for Miller. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Only 3 there on the screen at second down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. And give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's third down.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Well, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Demaryius Thomas from 10 yards out. And the Texans use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line.
Well, conventional football, football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. On first, they go right back to Collins. Oh, he's got some breathing room. There goes Alex Collins. 20, 10, 5, and all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Alex Collins, his second touchdown of the afternoon, and the Ravens will add on to their lead.
They blitzed defensively there, but he was able to slip through that first layer, and then he was gone.
I think they won the leverage game, didn't they?
Yes.
Right? They saw the blitz coming. That got to him a little bit, but they leveraged it perfectly and found not just a crease, a gigantic hole. And off he goes, and he's still going all the way to the end zone.
And make him 4 for 4 now on two-point conversions as he'll take this one in for the score. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And now out comes Houston. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Here's Watson now on 2nd down. Escaping the pressure. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? Here's Watson. Over the middle, it's Thomas. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. His big day receiving just keeps getting bigger. He's over 200 yards now on the afternoon. Back to throw, Watson. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pickup there, a 22. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. Watson now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Play action from Miller. Now Watson. They'll roll him out right. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
Well, the pressure, the hits, the sacks have been coming at him all game long. I'm frankly surprised that they haven't found a solution yet to create more time for him to throw it or maybe change what they do on offense.
And that's one of the biggest blitz coming, and down he goes. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
And the interception, and this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. Thomas, the intended target.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
They'll start out here with the option left. 30, the 20, and all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, 52 yards, and the Ravens will extend their lead. Here we go now as they will again try for 2. From the gun, it's Jackson. And make him 4 for 4 now on two-point conversions as he'll take this one in for the score. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. And now out comes Houston. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here."
DeAndre Hopkins, he's all alone. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, 64 yards. And the Texans get a bit closer.
And that touchdown puts us in a position to have a discussion, doesn't it? Now it'll be a two-score game after the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt with a two-score game they're going to have to onside kick it. We'll just see if they've got a miracle up their sleeve.
And you wonder what onside kicks they're going to use and in what sequence if they hope to have a chance to win this game.
Fairbairn now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football, football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down. And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw. Steps away to his left. Over the middle, complete. That's Andrews. And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34. A big play that time for the Ravens. 54 yards. Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. Rolling to his left. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Michael Crabtree, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Ravens will add on to their lead. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Faking the give. Now Watson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off near the 26. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Space to maneuver at the 40. And down to the 28-yard line. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did.